Let's do it.
Let me do the wild thing.
Man, we had some crazy stuff going on yesterday on Twitter. It was funny. I had posted a picture of me eating lunch.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to eat a lot for lunch, kind of pressed for time. So I was eating a little can of Vienna sausages and crackers.
Yes, and I ended up getting photoshopped in that. So, I erased that Toby Keith thing yesterday. Right? I erased my Toby Keith post, and people took screenshots of it, and it resurrected itself. People take screenshots of what I say. How does that work?
It's crazy. Look at this,
Oh,
bro.
my God. Who is she, and can I have one?
I don't know, man. I think we're watching the wrong Weather Channel, Mike.
Dude, Felicia Combs of the Weather Channel is the closest thing America has to that, man.
Wow, bro.
So why'd you bring that up?
I was just random thing coming
Random.
It's just coming up through my Twitter line. I'm going through my Twitter. I'm like, whoa, what is this?
I don't know what you follow on Twitter, but I don't follow that.
I'm not following that. It just comes up randomly.
It's like that for me with Instagram, by the way.
Yeah.
That's so funny. People taking screenshots just in case I erase what I post.
Hey, they're keeping receipts on you, Mike.
Dude, that's exactly what it is, man. Good God. People suck sometimes.
It's funny, man. And then I put Mike drinks the wiener juice because they're like, drink the juice from the Vienna sausage. I'm like, oh, hell no.
That's gross, dude. Vienna sausages are gross. Spam is gross. All of that shit.
Hey, man, I was pressed for time, bro. Busy. It was there. Crackers.
No, we're not starting with that. Hey, my name is Mike Jimenez. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo. Remember the Alamo. Remember your San Antonio Spurs. Remember UTSA football. We're also the home of the Spurs Coyote. What's going on? Joe Garcia producing today's show. We're live only exclusively on YouTube. No more Facebook, no more Twitter. Like and subscribe and share. Okay, this is your opportunity right now to post this on your Facebook page. Post this on your Twitter page. Do something to promote what we do. And if you like what we do, top right, there's a QR code for buy us a coffee. Again, we're not paying our bills with this. This is our entertainment for you guys. It's also entertainment for us, man. It gets us out there. But this goes to help pay for things like our equipment and fees and things like that. So very nice. Joe, how you doing today, my man? Hump day.
Doing good, man. I'm glad it's hump day. It's my Friday, man. And you know what? We got to tell everybody, man. Announcement on the show is coming. But
yes,
we have another announcement, though. No show on Friday because I'm going to be out of town. And Mike, you're going to be out of town.
Yeah, I have a business trip in Houston.
Yeah.
So I restarted my business yesterday, or actually on Monday. And part of what I got to do is go back into training on Friday. So I'll be in Houston for the day. But we do have a big show. We have big announcements being made today. So we're excited about that. And we may have a guest when it comes to that big announcement, which is going to be fun. Here's a little bit of a hint. The Alamo City Sportscast, our network is expanding. We are growing. We've already added that show with Brandon Medina and his friend.
Generation Duo.
Fantastic first show. So we are expanding what we're doing. If you want to be part of our show, you can leave a comment or two, and the best ones get read, and we'll kind of go with that. Big show today. Again, we do have a big announcement. Keldon Johnson, NBA trade deadline is in just over 24 hours. Will Keldon Johnson be a Spur come Thursday evening? We'll talk about that. I'm getting really excited about the NBA draft. The Spurs right now, obviously have a bad record. Obviously should have one of the top 5 or 6 picks in the draft this upcoming year. That being said, Joe, I'm falling in love already. I'm falling in love with certain players, certain stat lines, and now I'm getting my hopes up for the Spurs when it comes to a couple of players. Toby Keith. We're going to continue to talk about Toby Keith.
Still.
Well, OU honored him last night.
Hey, Taylor Swift, she said something nice about him.
Well, he helped jumpstart her career.
Yeah.
Along with Kenny Chesney.
Jesus was asking, did I like his Photoshop? Yes, I did like your Photoshop, Jesus.
Thank you so much for that. Lots of skills. Does Brock Purdy look like a villain?
No, man. He looks
Okay.
like one of those little schoolboys, man.
Well, first of all, there was a reporter yesterday out there at Radio Row at Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas who posed a question to Brock Purdy about who he looks like.
I saw that.
Don't give it away, but it was so funny. Now I can't unsee it.
And man, they've been asking this dude like some weird ass questions
Yeah.
too, man. He's just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, because they were asking him. You kind of look like the guy.
No. Yeah,
You know?
don't give it away.
No, I'm just saying we're thinking
Okay.
the same thing, but I'm just saying it's like, why do media ask like the weirdest questions at these events?
Well, that's the whole point of that
I'm
session.
just like,
the Monday and Tuesday night at the Super Bowl is designed to be wacky questions because come Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's the ESPNs, it's the Westwood Sports, the Fox Sports that are all there at the Super Bowl. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you get the entertainment channels that go there. It's Entertainment Tonight, it's Extra, it's all of that
and
show
you got
up.
people coming in from random podcasts, and
Right.
live streams, and whatnot.
Right.
You know?
So
But Matt Lerma's asking, did I miss the announcement? No, not yet.
Not
Matt.
yet.
You have not missed it.
not yet. I'm excited about this weekend. I'm going to the rodeo on Saturday
Oh, I heard.
and going to
I
meet
heard.
up with some friends. Now, here's the thing about it.
Funnel cake.
I was funnel cake. We were talking about that, right? I need to like exercise a lot.
Gotta wear the stretchy pads.
Just so that I can have half a funnel cake out there. I love the rodeo.
Yeah.
I hate Fiesta. Okay. I'm okay with the Poteet Strawberry Festival and Carnival. I hate Fiesta, but the rodeo, I like the rodeo. But the thing is that when I go, I don't get dressed up very country. But the group that I'm going with on Saturday are all dressing country style.
You gonna buy the belt buckle?
I don't think I can go as far as to get the belt, right? But here's the thing, man. I have never worn boots in my entire life.
God, bro. No.
How difficult would it be at age 46 for me to learn how to wear boots?
I'm seeing your shoes that you're wearing right now.
I'm wearing
your
dress shoes.
It's kind of the same thing, dude.
Okay, so when I was at the store the other day, I was shopping for business attire, right? I needed a blazer so that I could look like Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Got a nice little blazer going. And as I was looking at the shoes, they were like, sir, would you like to have these loafers? Would you like these tie-up shoes? Or would you like these mock boots? So they sell these shoes that are dress shoes that look like boots, but they don't go all the way up your calf. Is that cheating?
That is cheating. It's just like wearing those stupid sandals that have the other part that looks like a boot.
Oh,
and
no,
the top part
it's
is the
not
boot,
like that.
And the bottom's the sandal. No, man.
Brandon, it's not like that, dude. It's a leather shoe.
Yeah,
It looks like a boot, but it only goes up halfway.
It's not a real boot. If you want to get some real like Chicano boots,
No, I don't want Chicano boots.
get some real Chicano boots.
No. I don't want the ones that curl up and all that shit.
No,
I
want
to look good. Okay,
You can go to Boot Barn.
I want to look good. I
You
don't
need to
want
go
to
to-
be all Tejano, South Texas. I want to look good. I want to look trendy.
Well, go to Boot Barn or something, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But when I go over there, how do I explain to them that I want to wear boots for the first time? Because here's the thing,
Just tell me you want comfortable boots,
dude.
bro.
Even at 46 years old, when I go buy running shoes, just like a kid, I run around the aisles a little bit to break them in to see if they feel good. Do I do the same thing with boots? When I try on boots, can I tell them, can I walk around? Can I go outside in the street? I've never worn boots before, but I think I'm going to do it for the first time ever. Charlie Hernandez reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying, Jimenez, I'll give you some pointers with rodeo wear. Please do. Please do. Now, I have to go buy one of those shirts that looks like a picnic table, like one of those picnic table covers.
Yeah,
The checkered ones.
you got one on right now.
Well, no, this is a little bit more preppy. I mean, this is more Zach Morris than it is Toby Keith.
God, man.
Okay. No, I'm not going to do a big buckle because I'm not going to be a complete poser out there.
Look at this, man. Jesus Rivera says, get some Ariats.
I was
They have
looking
some
at them.
memory foam, man.
I was looking at them the other day.
Hey, there you go.
I was Googling this and looking at different brands and whatnot. Gonna give that up. Chris Leha, did Jimenez say he's never owned boots? Not since I was a kid.
God, bro, they're gonna cook you now.
Dude,
It's gonna be funny, dude.
that just wasn't the life that I lived, dude. Doesn't make me any worse, doesn't make me any better. Just wasn't the life that I lived.
Mike's like, the last thing I want to do is look like my people.
I look, dude, I have to have a professionalism about myself, right? And that's the thing, I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now because I'm going to a meeting and I have to be presentable. On Friday, I have to wear a blazer. There's a reason why I get my hair cut every 10 days. It's because on day 11, my hair gets curly and curly and curly and curly. And to me, it doesn't look professional.
Man,
So
I haven't
I
had
have-
my hair cut in months, bro.
Dude, every 10 to 11 days, mark it. I am getting a haircut.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't spend 30, 40 bucks on a haircut. Is because I need to look a certain way because I handle $31 million as of this morning. I have to look a certain way. So because of that, yes, when I go out and about to the San Antonio Rodeo, when I go someplace else, I have to look as though I'm going to meet somebody who wants to do business with me.
You can do a business, dude, if you just go and, represent your people. Look like a vaquero, dude.
No.
Mexican cowboy, bro.
No.
Come on.
Ain't no
You have to
money.
have the open
Nobody's
shirt.
giving me $1.5 million.
Open
No
shirt,
one's giving me
the
$4
gold
million.
chains.
Dude, I have a client that I'm working with today that's worth $45 million. They're not going to be giving me money if I look like some vaquero from
get your
Laredo.
jeans pressed with the
No,
pressed
dude.
jeans. Come
F
on,
that,
bro.
Dude. No.
Mexican cowboy, bro.
I work
Mexican
with money, and I got to dress like money. And what's funny about it though is that I drive a truck. I don't drive an F-150 or an F-250 or an F-350. Nothing wrong with an F-150. I know like Chris Leha from MCS General Contracting drives a 350.
Bro, he's driving a man truck.
He
man.
needs to.
Yeah.
It goes with the job of what he does. But the money that I work with, that I play with in my personal life as a business owner, typically comes from blue collar people, and it typically comes from people who work out in the sticks, rural Texas, South Texas, out in the hill country. When I say hill country, I'm not talking about the nice parts of the hill country. I'm talking about like the ranches out there. So that being said, I have to drive a truck. I'm going to get a new truck next month, and I'm excited about it. I might go up from the Tacoma to the Tundra.
Hey, my boy just got a new Tacoma, man, and it's nice. He got one of those TRD editions. It's all silver.
Mm-hmm.
It looks nice, dude. It's nice inside.
Chris Gonzalez reaches out and says Mike's going to buy those bedazzled jeans with his boots. Thank you so much for that.
With the little bedazzle on the ass.
Yeah. Jesus Rivera, I recommend Ariats. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, he said Ariats for real.
Yeah.
He's saying for real.
But who's the one that was above that though? I'll get cooked with you. Who said that one?
Jesus.
My son, Jesus. I'll get cooked with you. I've only owned one pair of boots, which is why I was pressured to buy, since it was my best friend's and I was the best man at his wedding, and it was Western themed. Now, I've done Western themed stuff before. I worked for companies that had Western themed parties and whatnot, where you had a bolo tie and all that stuff. But I didn't go as far as wearing boots. I used to have these shoes that looked like boots.
Yeah.
They weren't the half boot. They just looked like boots. And then when you wore them with jeans, no one could tell any different, right? But now I'm thinking, should I own an actual full-on pair? And how difficult would it be for me to walk in that all up and down the grounds of the rodeo?
I don't think it would. I think if you go to like a boot barn, go with Jesus's recommendation, Ariats with memory foam in them. I think it's just gonna be like dress shoes. I think you'll be just fine. You can walk around the store. Are you gonna be talking like you're gonna get the ostrich skins, crocodile?
No.
What are we talking,
I
man?
ain't gonna be fancy. I want to look the part without being a poser.
You're gonna get a hat too?
And I don't want to be ethnic either. And I ain't getting a hat because I can't rock it.
Man.
Sean Quintero reaches out to us on our stream. He's new to our chat. Says Alamo City Mike Cast. It kind of is from time to time.
Jesus, Daddy, buy me a turkey leg.
$17. Get the hell out of here.
Shit, I don't even know it's $17. It might be more.
Whenever
dude.
I go to the rodeo, they have that shopping area there where you can go and shop for things like, I don't know, like jacuzzis, and RVs and all that stuff. Dude, I get trapped in there.
Hey, I like those little barrels that they have where you can go ahead and put like whiskey and age it and stuff. That looks good.
That
man.
is very cool. I love the rodeo. Now that I think about it, I'm getting giddy because of it. Okay, so first of all, it's a Venn diagram, right? I want to look authentic, but not poser. I want to look like I belong, but I don't want to look too ethnic when it comes to it, because I don't want to have the South Texas vaquero look either, right? I don't want to be blingy, okay? But I also don't want to be cheap. And I want to be comfortable, but I want it to look nice that I could wear not just
You want
once.
authentic Western wear at the Goodwill over here on Petrenko, bro.
Yeah, that's basically it. Someone go with me.
Worn out jeans.
Someone go with me. And do I have to walk around in these boots for like a day before to break them in?
Hey, go like that one dude, that one brother that came out at ESPN during the Spurs. Was it the home game or was it the silver and black scrimmage? Remember from ESPN?
Yeah.
He came out and he was wearing the jean shorts that were all frayed and cowboy boots with the Spurs jersey and a hat. There you go. That's you right there, man.
Exactly. As long as I'm not like Lil Nas X in Old Town Road.
No.
Okay.
Hey, you could pull that look off. The Spurs jersey, blue jeans, and some boots. That's you right there.
Yeah. That's so funny. Mario Cavazos reaches out to us and says, get some 1990 Red Wings.
Oh.
Pull up to the green line to indicate that there's a steel toe. Lace them up, dye them black. There's certain things that I didn't wear growing up. I didn't wear boots, and I didn't wear Red Wings or anything like that. And again, doesn't make me any better, doesn't make me any worse. That just wasn't me. I was a little bit more preppy than anything else.
If you grew up in the hood, you needed those Red Wings because you never knew when you're going to strap, man.
I am 1-0 in
you're going to throw it down, dude. You're going to throw down. You had to have those Red Wings, man.
But they're really so heavy, I wouldn't be able to kick.
Oh, you'd be able to kick. You see, you throw hands first. Then when you get them on the ground, that's when you start kicking, bro.
That is so funny. So I'll be out there at Fiesta. Come by, say hi. If you find me, maybe I'll get you a beer. I typically do that. Hey, I'm excited about tonight. You know why? Because tonight I'm refereeing my old high school. Holmes High School is taking on Taft in high school basketball. It is my last 2 games of the year.
Wow.
The season's over. Unless I get picked up for the playoffs, the last 2 games of the year, I did over 50 games.
You got any games on Thursday or Friday?
I was supposed to have it on Friday, but I'm going to Houston for work,
okay.
so I'm not going to be able to. But this is my last 2 of the season. I am eligible to be called up to do playoff games. So It might not be the end of the season for me, but this was my first year doing 6A varsity. So I'm not expecting to get the call up, but it'd be cool if I did.
I love this one by Daniel Castro.
I heard Jimenez still rocks the Z Cavaricis. Damn straight I do. You know what? I was on eBay the other day looking at vintage shirts from Structure.
From back in the day.
Dude, I used to love Structure downstairs in Ingram Park Mall.
Yeah.
I think it's now like a Victoria's Secret. But Structure back in the day was my jam, man. I loved Structure.
I used to like this other place that they had at South Park Mall because that's where I hung out a lot, right?
Yeah.
It was called Jeans West. And it was like a little shop. It was pretty dope, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you rock the Gerbos?
I rocked the Gerbos back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, man. Hey, everybody used to get their Gerbos from the same place. If you grew up on the south side, southwest side, and that place was Solo Serve. And every time you went over there, man, and you wore these Gerbos, they just never seemed to fit right. They would always be a little off.
Were they legit Gerbos?
They were legit Gerbos, but
okay.
there was always something wrong with the clothes there, right? So you would wear it and they would kind of turn to the left a little bit. One leg was bigger than the other, you know. Something weird was always happening with the jeans, dude.
Tim Gonzalez reaches out to us and says, Mike wants to impress all the rodeo single moms Saturday. You know, dress to impress, might be wanting to impress somebody.
Bugle Boy.
Yeah, Mario Cavazos, Jimenez wants to wear Bugle Boy clothing.
British Knight.
Oh, dude, I used to rock BKs, dude.
Oh,
don't diss
shit,
BK.
bro.
Dude, I used to walk around with my Gerbos, my British Knight shoes, drinking a Clearly Canadian. Oh my God.
You know who
those
still
are the
likes
days.
that? Dude, my wife drinks Clearly Canadian.
Dude, the Blackberry one is amazing.
She loves it.
Where does she get it?
They have it at HEB now. Like the one over here on Petrenko, they just put it there. And I think the one over here on the Marbach area, the HEB there, they have Clearly Canadian.
That's interesting, man. Dude, the HEB on Marbach, man, is a interesting place, man.
Hey man, don't be
I'm not
dissing my hood.
I'm not dissing it. It's an interesting HEB. It's just interesting.
You see all sorts there, bro. I'm just all in to say it's a melting pot.
Yeah.
Ethnicity.
Yeah, it's ethnic with an F. Again tonight, I'll be at Taft High School, Holmes versus Taft. If you want to come check out my last games of the season, I gotta count them. I think I did around 54 games for the year.
Got a recommendation for you. Wear an Ed Hardy shirt and Pit Viper glasses.
Nice, dude. I can look like Pitbull in a Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh man, I used to love me, man. That's some Valley High, because I grew up in that area, right? That's
Yeah.
my hood. So we used to go to the HEB on Valley High back in the day when it used to actually be a mall, and we used to always go there. And if you remember back in like the 80s and stuff,
Yeah.
when we used to go there, the mall, they had like a little entrance that was right on the side of the HEB, and they always had like a little arcade and stuff like that, video games out there in that little hallway.
Yeah.
So every time I'd go with my family, I'd always want to go and play some games or something. I mean, they had a wins in there and everything. It was a cool mall, man, but it just got dated and they just knocked it down.
So many years ago, I don't think I've ever told this story. I knew this one guy who was really high up at HEB.
Really?
And one day we were talking about like what we were doing over the weekend. And I was like, I'm going to buy a TV. And he goes, really, what brand are you looking for? And I was telling him, I usually go with Bravia or Sony Bravia, or I go with, this LG or whatever the case may be. And he goes, do me a favor. How far do you live from 1604 in Petranco? And I said, I live really close to it. That's my HEB.
Yeah.
The one I'd go to now is the 211 one, but that was the one that I would go to back in the day. And he goes, show up at 6 a.m. when they first open, go to the TV section. And I'm like, why? And he goes, just do it. I can't say, just do it. I went over there. They had the TVs marked down 90%.
Damn.
Because they were getting rid of the electronics section at that HEB or Super HEB or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
And he knew about it. And I showed up. I put 2 TVs in my cart that were typically $900 each. Got them for $90. Went over to the one on Marbach and did the same thing because they got rid of their electronics section. And there I am buying TVs at 6:15 in the morning. I got the tip. It's not what you know sometimes. It's who you know. Oh, Matt Lerman's calling it a tall tale. Is this a tall tale?
Oh, the tall tale time, man.
Dude, you know what's so funny is that it's like a 60 some odd inch TV, and I still rock that TV.
Damn, Daniel Castro grew up in the creek. That's the real hood right there, bro. That's across from where I grew up. I grew up over here by like Five Palms and all that.
Yeah.
So there's a line that you don't cross, right? And that line was going over there to Indian Creek, bro. That was like straight up hood. It was bad.
My HEB growing up, because I grew up in the Holmes High School area, there wasn't an HEB right there. We would go to Kroger or Fiesta on Callahan and Ingram. But they did have an HEB marketplace that they created on Bandera and 410 area. Dude, the Chinese food there was legit, man.
Nah, nothing beats that Chinese food over here at that HEB that back in the day.
Yeah.
Over here on Marbach, bro, I'm telling you,
man. Just wait there in line. It's not the Mexican food that made me gain weight. It was the freaking Chinese food at HEB.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you for everyone for taking part in the show. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. We do have a coffee on the top right if you want to give us a tip. Super chat gets you to the top of the line when it comes to conversation pieces that we'll talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. He brings you that daily content for your silver and black, for your San Antonio Spurs. Joe and I are often guests on his podcast. I subscribe on YouTube. I suggest that you do as well. I also, when I'm driving out and about, will listen to it on Spotify. Same thing for our show, by the way. You can subscribe to our show on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart app, wherever you find your podcasts. Don't forget to do that as well.
Hey, we also got a website that I'm working on. I'm almost done. I think it'll be done by this weekend. There's just a few little things I got to add to it. But this is going to be the melting pot where you're going to be able to see everything that we're doing here on the network, from our show to Generation Duo with Brandon, Fantasy Gods, and another announcement coming up here shortly by when we have Rudy Campos on the show. So we're growing, we're expanding, and we're going to make it easy for you guys to access everything we do all in one place. So we're going to launch that.
And this is the exciting thing about it, because this is what we hoped to have done months ago, but things in my personal life kind of got in the way.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
It does happen. And, I'm looking at it, and it's very exciting what's going on in sports talk and in just entertainment in general, between what we're doing and what Mike Taylor and Rudy J are doing within the building, because they're trying to create something similar to ours. And it's like we're overlapping on each other a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we're in the right direction. Both of our respective networks are in the right direction. And it is very possible that collectively in the building and the Love You Hard Network, along with the Alamo City Podcast Network, collectively might make a huge dent into what's going on with Ticket 760, San Antonio Sports Star. It's going to be interesting to see if it does.
You know what? That's interesting that you say that, because me and Carolina Teague, we had a conversation last night, and we were saying that same thing that you just said, that each one of us is doing our own thing, and we're actually on the cusp of something new. Where Mike Taylor's doing his thing with Rudy J and DJ LG. Shout out to DJ LG, one of the best producers in the game.
That's right.
Nothing but respect and love for them, man, over what they're doing. But we're doing something as well. So who knows? Maybe at some point, maybe we learn to work together.
That would be nice. Spurs are back in action tonight. They begin the rodeo road trip, taking on the Miami Heat out there in South Beach. We do have someone, David Otwar, reaching out to us asking the question, will the Spurs lose by 20 tonight? The answer is more than likely yes. Okay. But if you can show my screen real fast,
sure.
Joe, there was a post that was made by Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Follow him on Twitter and on Threads. And it says that there's an odds maker that projects the Detroit Pistons as the favorite to land Keldon Johnson if the Spurs do decide to move on from the Spurs draft pick from a handful of years ago. And the thing about it is this: Keldon Johnson is a fan favorite. There are a lot of people who are like big fans of this guy because he has a motor and he seems to care about what the Spurs do. But the fact of the matter is that if the Spurs are going to try to get somebody pretty decent for the future to build around Victor Wembanyama, they need to give up talent to do so. It's going to be beyond picks. Picks will get us somebody okay, but you got to send talent to get talent in return. And Jake Fisher is talking about the fact, he's an NBA insider, talking about the fact that a lot of teams would like Keldon's deal because he signed a 4-year, $74 million deal that could inflate to $80 million if certain projections are made, but it's a decreasing thing where it goes from 21 a year down to 19, 17 and a half, and then 17 and a half. And that there are certain teams out there that would like that because he's not that expensive and you get a pretty good player. Now, Bet Online says the Pistons have plus 200 odds to get the Spurs star, who's the longest tenured Spur on the roster right now. Now, other teams in the mix, according to Bet Online, are the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. Well, if it's the Miami Heat, maybe he just stays there. Takes on the Heat tonight. Tomorrow's a trade deadline. That is a possibility.
Coach Pop going to say, hey, no need. You stay right where you're at.
Yeah, so my question when it comes to Keldon Johnson is, when you think of Keldon Johnson, do you think that he's really a long-term guy for this team? Is he somebody that you think is going to be somebody that Victor Wembanyama is going to want to have around forever? Or can we get somebody better in the draft? Can we get somebody better through it via trade? And I'm kind of heartbroken when it comes to this because Keldon is a fan favorite. Keldon is somebody who has a motor, who's not afraid to shoot the ball. And when Victor Wembanyama is not playing for whatever reason, whether it's hurt or rest, Devin Vassell doesn't step up. But the person who does is Keldon Johnson. So that's one reason why I would want to have Keldon around. Keldon has also embraced being the sixth man after being the man for so long. Imagine that, being the highest paid Spur, but coming off the bench, and he's done well off the bench. He's a corporate guy. He's a gold medal winner. He brought that team together. He's going to be somebody who's going to play well for a good team, but going to Detroit is not a good team. Detroit sucks just as bad as the Spurs do. So they'd be exiling him to a bad team. But who would we get in return? That is the thing, because, it's got to be beyond draft picks, man. It's got to be beyond that. They have a lot of talent there at point guard. The Spurs do need a point guard as well, but I'm going through their roster right now. It's not going to be Cade Cunningham. That's going to cost too much. What about a player like a Jalen Duren or a Jaden Ivey? Jalen Duren, very young center. That's a possibility. Maybe it would take more than just Keldon to get Jalen Duren over. Jaden Ivey was one of the top picks a while back. But if you have Cade, why do you need Jaden Ivey? Killian Hayes is another point guard that you can probably get for the cheap, on the cheap. Killian Hayes is somebody who was also a lottery pick as well. The problem with Killian Hayes, the guy can't make a three to save his life. And we already have a point guard like that in Trey Jones.
And we also have somebody who plays backup center that can't shoot a three worth of shit either. And Zach Collins.
Right.
You know?
James Molina reaches out to us on our YouTube stream and says, exactly, Keldon is our biggest asset. No one's standing in line for CD or Doug. CD and Doug aren't going to get anything, man. I mean, Osman's a good player. Maybe you'll get a first rounder, but it's going to be from a good team that's going to give you pick number 27, 28, 29.
A playoff bound team. I could see them trying to make a move to help them.
The same thing for Doug McDermott.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, here's pick 25. Go have fun with that glorified first rounder. James Wiseman is another name out there that maybe the Spurs would be interested in. Another top lottery pick from back in the day. So the Spurs might make a move here. Now, there is a reporter coming out in New York, an insider, NBA insider, who's making the theory out there that maybe, just maybe, the Knicks would be interested in Keldon Johnson because the Knicks are having a hell of a season this year. Fantastic year. They need scoring off the bench, and they're saying Keldon is somebody that they should go after, and that the Spurs might be interested in a player like Evan Fournier because, you know, that is somebody that is French and may be able to train Victor Wembanyama. I find this all to be very, very interesting. Trade deadline is tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, and I think it's time for our announcement. We got the
big
one and
announcement
only
time. We'll talk more Spurs in a minute. We'll talk more about the draft in a moment, which is still months away, but still I'm falling in love right now. But we have a big announcement here at the Alamo City Sportscast, the Alamo City Podcast. Rudy Campos Jr. joining us right now. What is going on, my man? How you doing?
Good, very good. You don't have to stop talking Spurs on my behalf. I mean, you can keep talking Spurs, Mike.
Well, you know what? I mean, we don't want to bury the lead, though, man. You know, we want to, we want to lead with our good foot over here, man. Rudy Campos Jr. has a big announcement along with Joe Garcia. Take it away.
So me and Rudy have been talking behind the scenes, and Rudy has expressed interest in doing something with our network here. So, Rudy, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away. We're going to focus the full screen on you, sir.
Oh, full screen. I get the full screen. Michael doesn't even get the full screen. That makes me feel special here. So, as you can see off the big fat head in front of you guys, yes, Joe and I have been working together for a long, long time. Man, we're going probably 8 years working together behind the scenes doing shows like that. And we took Sweep the League, from the Rated R podcast in the beginning all the way now to Sweep the League. And we're proud to announce that starting Monday, Super Bowl Monday, because Super Bowl Sunday is when we hope our squares hit and we get paid. So you're going to get paid that Monday, not only from your cash for winning Super Bowl, but also with the announcement of Sweep the League has joined the network. And we'll be coming to you Monday through Friday from 2 to 3:30. So your afternoons are going to be with us. You have to put up with the shit from Jimenez in the morning. Then you got to put up with the shit from us on the afternoon. So that's the big announcement. Sweep the League is coming Monday through Friday, 2 to 3:30. Starting this Monday, it's myself. It's the Rambassador, Coach Gio. Derek Gervin is going to be joining us. Rocky Garza. I mean, everybody from Sweep the League fam is going to be with us some way, some file. But we've also got a lot of people coming in. We're going to talk anything from NBA all the way down to the sport of bowling, guys. I've got bowlers, professional bowlers that we're making contacts with. So we sweep every league. We're going to sweep everything. And yes, it's not a takeover because I heard someone say that I was coming in to take over. I'm not taking over anything. Just the afternoons for you guys.
Very nice, man. The network is expanding. Rudy Campos Jr. again, Super Bowl Monday or the day after the Super Bowl will be joining this network. That's fantastic.
Super Bowl.
You're more than welcome to be on this show from time to time to promote what you've got going on.
Sure.
I would be happy to make an appearance on your show if interested, if you want the bullshit that I carry onto your show. But let's go ahead and get some sports takes out of you right now. Because
what's up?
We got a couple of minutes.
NBA trade deadline is tomorrow afternoon.
Mhm.
And reports out there, saying maybe the Knicks would want Keldon Johnson. Maybe the Pistons would be interested in him. Do you think the Spurs are going to make a move at all? I think the Spurs will make some sort of move.
Mhm.
It may not be the type of move that we want. We're probably going to gather more second rounders, but I would not be surprised at all if Brian Wright actually pulled the trigger on something substantial. I wouldn't be surprised. He's done it before. We don't give him credit for that, but he's done it before. Your thoughts on the deadline tomorrow?
So first off, I saw Mario talking about we're going to talk dodgeball and cockfighting. I'm good. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to talk dodgeball and cockfighting. We'll definitely get into the top 10 cockfighters out there for Mario on the show somehow.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's be real about the Spurs stuff here. Any trade that's going to happen, in my opinion, is going to be more of a salary dump for another team. The Spurs have enough salary cap to where they can take on a contract that a team doesn't want and just cut them and take the loss for the year for them. You may see a couple of draft picks somewhere in there. I see the Keldon talk coming across, and it's very possible. You've got teams like the Knicks, maybe a couple of other teams that need a scorer. Knicks definitely need scoring in the East. But what doesn't make sense to me is the Detroit talk. I don't know. It makes zero sense for Detroit to make any type of move when it comes to the trade deadline and get a player like Keldon Johnson. They really don't need him. So I kind of see that as kind of more smoke. I do believe the Knicks talk also, a couple other teams you're probably looking at. Maybe Cleveland is another place for Keldon to go because they could use another body like Keldon there, getting ready for that playoff push. But to be honest, Mike, if they make a big move, it's probably going to be, maybe moving a guy like Devin or Jeremy Sohan for draft picks, if anything. But again, outside of Victor Wembanyama, how many of these guys are actually worth first-round picks?
With all due respect, Rudy Campos Jr., you shut your mouth when it comes to my son Devin Vassell. Or Sohan. And it's the Spurs are sitting here with arguably the worst team that they've ever had. This is going to be the worst record the Spurs have ever had in their 51-year history.
Yeah.
Book it. We're on track for that. And that to me basically says that there's not a lot around the Spurs right now, not around Wemby, that they may want to keep. I was a little bit frustrated with Devin Vassell not passing Wemby the ball. I think it was Friday night in that loss at the last second when he took it upon himself to shoot the potential game-winning shot, and he bricked it. Wasn't even close. Keldon Johnson, I like him as a person. I think he has a great motor, but he's always undersized. We call him big body, but that's also a bunch of crap because based on what he's doing and the position he's playing, he's actually undersized. Sohan, I will back off on Sohan. Notice how when he went for 2 or 4 points the other day, I didn't give him shit because I'm seeing glimpses of what I would want to see out of him now that he's playing the 4. So now I'm looking at the draft, Rudy, and I don't know if you're like me. I start researching this stuff. I start watching games. I start watching YouTube clips. Yeah. And the Spurs right now have the potential of having a number 1 overall pick, more than likely going to have a top 5 pick. There's about a 55% chance of us getting the Toronto pick, if that conveys this year. And I'm looking at the draft, and I'm thinking to myself, there's 2 names that stick out. Actually, there's 3 names. Zachary Rissarchet out of France, 6'9". The guy's a baller. He's compared to Franz Wagner. Dude, the guy's shooting 54% from 3. 54% from 3 this season. And on high volume. The guy can pass. I love that guy. Nikola Topic, point guard who's compared to SGA, playing for Serbia in a Serbian league. Amazing player. But he might be a project because he's so young. But that's somebody more of a long-term play, but that could be a future superstar. And then Rob Dillingham. Dude, Rob Dillingham is just a bucket. Just an absolute bucket right now. And Kentucky Wildcats, the Spurs have a history of drafting guys from Kentucky. What are your thoughts on any of these guys? Because I tell you what, if you give me Rissarchet or Topic up top, and we get Dillingham on the bottom, I'd be a very happy Spurs fan.
So you're looking at a draft that's pretty guard heavy, with you've got like you mentioned, Topic, even Rissarchet can actually play the guard position too. You've got guys like Isaiah Collier, Dillingham. Don't overlook Reed Shepherd from Kentucky as well. I think the guard position is something the Spurs need to address. Are you going to get the main beam when it comes to side by side with Victor in this draft? No, it's still 2025. That draft is the one you still want to load up on picks on, because I've said it on a few times and a few occasions. The 2025 draft has the potential to have at least 2 guys that could be as good as Hall of Fame players. I mean, you've got 2 in there right now that could potentially be that good. Cooper Flagg obviously being the main guy.
Yeah.
this year you've got a draft kind of similar to what we've seen in past years. You've got guys that are going to be stars. They're going to be impossible all-stars, but you're not going to have that, earth-shattering guy that's going to come in and these Spurs are going to start winning 40, 50 games. I mean, you're going to get a starter, but you're not going to get that, hey, it's going to be an all-NBA guy or anything like that. For me, it's obviously get that guard position filled. Topek would be the number one guy on my list right now. After that, if I'm going a little bit lower, I'm looking at maybe like a Rob Dillingham is another one, like you mentioned. Don't forget a Jacoby Walter out of Baylor. Cody Williams is a very, very, very good option for the San Antonio Spurs. He's out of Colorado. Mm-hmm. So this draft is going to be kind of one where you want to just fill the needs and kind of take care of the offseason a little bit. But one thing about the whole thing with Spurs fans, Mike, is they got to understand when you build a house, you pour the foundation. You've got the foundation in Victor first. Everything you have is just material off to the side. Now you've got to get the pieces to start building the house. And that's what they're going to start doing this offseason. I figured 25-26 is going to be the year we see this whole turnaround and this whole rebuild be done.
We're looking at highlights right now of Zachary Risacher right now, 6'9", playing in the same French league that Victor Wembanyama did last year. Balling out. You know what? He's even more accurate than what Wemby was over there. He's not 7'3" accurate. He's not going out there and blocking shots like crazy. But this guy can knock down three after three after three. He can go towards the bucket. Dare I say he's a more athletic Sean Elliott type of player. Just somebody who's more dynamic. I loved Sean Elliott back in the day. That's no disrespect. But Sean Elliott, as good of a shooter as he was never knocking down threes at a 45, 55% clip that this guy is. I look at this guy's highlights and I think to myself, this guy could go number 1 overall. He can go number 3 or 4. Yeah, this is not the type of draft where it's all about Victor Wembanyama. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder when it comes to this. It might be Nikola Topic going number 1. It could be Risacher going number 1. I mean, heck, if someone has a hard-on for Collier, maybe that could be the number 1 pick. You don't know. And it's also going to be, do you draft for need or do you draft for talent? But I look at this guy play more and more. I think to myself, this guy's game translates to the NBA, and I love it. Now, I'm going to go to Rob Dillingham. Rob Dillingham, when I watch Rob Dillingham play, the comparison that they have is it's funny because whenever I see Rob Dillingham play, these publications will say, oh, well, this guy reminds me of this player, and the comparison's never accurate. Mm-hmm. It's never accurate. It's always like, well, shades of this player, but not 100% accurate. The belief that Rob Dillingham is the second coming of Kemba Walker is identical, dude. This guy is Kemba Walker. Remember Kemba Walker? A bucket, what position was he? He was just a combo guard.
Yeah.
Someone who was 6 foot to 6'2", somebody who just could make threes at a 40% clip, who can drive to the bucket, was not necessarily a point guard, not necessarily a shooting guard. He was just a walking bucket. And this guy just doesn't miss shots. And he is rising up a lot of draft boards right now because for Kentucky, obviously coached well in that blue blood program over there. I watched this guy play, and I'm there going, this guy's going to be an NBA star. Maybe not an all-star, but he's going to be an Austin Reeves type of player. He's going to be a Kemba Walker type of player who might go for 1 or 2 all-star teams. I just look at this guy, and I just think to myself, the guy just doesn't miss. And what's wrong with the Spurs? 3-point shooting, right? If the Spurs somehow had a lineup of, let's go ahead and say, Vassell and Dillingham in the backcourt, Risacher and Sohan, along with Wemby, dude, I would have a major chub for this team because that is talent, that is athleticism, there is 3-point shooting involved, especially since Sohan has gotten a lot better from 3, and it's also the ability to play multiple positions and guard multiple positions. That would be my dream scenario as a Spurs fan.
Yeah, it would be. There's a lot of great scenarios that the Spurs can put themselves into. I mean, bad seasons are bad seasons. Who gives a crap? I think one guy I mentioned was Alexandre Sarr. Someone had mentioned, what about Sarr? Sarr, to me, hey, great talented guy. He's going to be a pretty good player in the NBA. He's going to be a star, actually. But he's not fitting what the Spurs are doing. You don't want to crowd the lane with Victor, and you don't want to make it tough for him to continue to be the dominant force he is on the defensive side. That's why I think, they go guard heavy.
Yeah.
Topic. And even like I said, Jacoby Walker, you're looking at a guy that's like Buddy Hield, great shooter, can get buckets. But one guy that I have circled, Mike, that a lot of people got to have circled, continue to watch is Cody Williams out of Colorado. His brother Jalen Williams plays for Oklahoma City. Just think you're looking at a guy with the potential. Again, these are, when you draft, it's potential. You're not saying this guy's going to be this. When Zion Williams was drafted, I said, you know what, you're probably getting maybe Larry Johnson at best. And that's kind of what we're seeing, a Larry Johnson, this type player. But with Cody Williams, can you imagine a player with the upside of like a Clyde Drexler playing with the San Antonio Spurs alongside of Victor Wembanyama? He's taller than his brother. He's a 3-and-D type guy. That's who I am circling as far as the Spurs go for Cody Williams. And you know what? He can trade down, get a couple more picks, maybe get another player for him because he's probably not going to go in the top 4, I would say. So circle Cody Williams, guys. That's one guy that I'm really looking at.
Yeah, Cody Williams is actually a very interesting player as well. He's on my top 5 list as well. And first of all, Rudy, again, your new show starts on our network here on Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. I hate the fact that you're getting compliments already because screw you, because I never get compliments. Nick Matthew reaching out saying Rudy does a good job of analyzing players in the draft without going into too much detail and getting boring. Again, I accept compliments as well. But you were talking about Cody Williams. I'm showing some highlights right now of Williams playing for Colorado. You're right. We could potentially drop down. Although I did see a mock draft the other day say he could be a top 3 player. But most of the mocks out there are saying that he's somewhere going to be around 6 to 10. Maybe you can slide down and get that guy. I like the fact that his brother is so good with OKC. There's something about that corporate knowledge of he's going to be able to pick the brain of his own brother when it comes to this. I mean, we have Trey Jones, and there's talk about Tyus Jones joining the Spurs. I believe Tyus is a little bit better than Trey.
Oh yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that there's something to be said about certain teams or certain players that have siblings or parents that were in the majors and the NBA or whatever the case may be. It's just really, really big for me when it comes to that. But looking at Cody Williams highlights, I can't fault him. He's one of the 5 players that I watch that I think to myself, this translates to the upper level. This is not Austin Spurs type of talent. This is NBA talent that should be at the Frost Bank Center. Go Frost yourself. But we have to get that second pick.
Yeah.
Toronto. Right now, there's only a 55% chance that we get it.
It's not going to happen.
It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. But then next year, if it doesn't happen, the Spurs would have the potential of having 5 first-round draft picks because we have our own. We would have a top 6 protected pick from Toronto, right? Part of the one of the trades that we did for Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
We'd have Atlanta's, which is not protected. We'd have Chicago's, which is top 10 protected, and then we'd have Charlotte's, which is top 14 protected. And now I've run out of breath. Spurs 5 first rounders, possibly, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I would like to get 2 this year because if Dillingham is there, if Cody Williams is there, we can't be waiting too long for this rebuild. We can't. Gotta do something. By the way, Eric Salinas, who I love on Spurs Twitter, he was going back and forth with me yesterday, and I want to get your impression on this. Okay. Who was right in this scenario?
All right.
He was talking about the fact that the Spurs should just build through the draft. Pop's been saying that he agrees with it, all that stuff. Eric Salinas, by the way, does a very good job as a Spurs fan and following the Spurs. And he's a beloved member of Spurs Twitter, I would say. I met him for the first time the night the Spurs won the draft lottery. We have photos of us celebrating after the lottery. Yeah, I was drinking Fireball. I was drinking Fireball or something. So that being said, he was saying building like Oklahoma City built to the draft, but I mentioned they got SGA on a trade, and he was like, "Yeah, but he was a project. He was a rookie." And I was like, "No, he was second." I said he was a second-team All-Rookie player, and his response back to me was, "Well, so was DeJuan Blair." And I said, "There's 2 different things between DeJuan Blair's rookie season and SGA's rookie season, where he averaged double figures where he averaged 37% from three, where this guy showed that he was going to be a future star.
Mhm.
I was like, this, they traded for a potential star, not who was raw. That was a guy who was delivering in day one. And by the way, the reason why he wasn't first team was because Luka Doncic and Trae Young were the two guards chosen ahead of him for the All-NBA rookie honors. That being said, who was right? Me, by saying that SGA at year one was showing the signs that he was going to be a star, or was it Eric by saying, no, he was still a project at that point?
So you actually won that argument, in my opinion, because I mean the comparison that you have, well, DeJuan Blair made All NBA second team. You know, it's kind of, there's a lot of players that make All NBA rookie teams that, you know, just kind of deserve it for that year because it was a kind of draft. SGA behind, you know, Trae Young and Luka Doncic at that time. Yeah, I mean, he was still putting up, you know, numbers to get him qualified for all rookie team. You see what he is now. He's actually a way better player. He's actually my MVP right now for the NBA is SGA right now, if you're asking me. Definitely you win that argument. SGA was tracking up as to where DeJuan Blair tracked up for a little bit, and then, you know, because he doesn't have kneecaps or whatever, you know, he tracked back down, so he took back down the ladder. Then you got to factor in the fact that he stole all that jewelry from a local jeweler. So DeJuan Blair's career was over before it even started, man. But SGA is on the right track, and that's something that as Spurs fans need to realize is you build through the draft, but you just don't know. It's not the NFL, dude. You're not going to build the entire team through the damn draft. In the NBA, in order for you to win now, you have to get, you know, free agents, and you have to get players that fit your system. So you won that. SGA is probably the better player, and you won that argument.
You know, I was gonna say you're talking about DeJuan Blair, and I gotta say Sean Elliott on air, live on air, when he was calling one of the games with Bill Land, he actually gave a nickname to DeJuan Blair, worst nickname ever. He called him DeJuan Blair, the dancing bear. I was like, what the hell am I listening to, man?
Maybe DeJuan Blair, it's like the time when, you know, guys like Glenn Davis, Big Baby was popular. I mean, you're popular for a little bit. I mean,
that guy is on all sorts of legal trouble. He's like flat broke now.
Are we gonna get another tall tale? Because I see a TK picture on the podcast, and I'm wondering if you're gonna tall tale here.
Now, I don't know if you're gonna have as good animations as we do, but here's the entertainment animation. If you can stay part of the show, if you'd like, you're welcome to be part of the show.
All right, we got to change it up here. So let me go ahead and go full screen.
Let's get that remix going.
Here we go.
Time for some entertainment news, because we do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia here at the Alamo City Sportscast. And as Rudy Campos Jr. mentioned, we do have a photo up here of Toby Keith, who passed away a day or two ago of stomach cancer. Country music star, dare I say legend. But he was known for many things, and one of the things he was known for was being a fan of the Oklahoma Sooners sports programs. Yesterday, during one of their basketball games, the OU Sooners did a thing for Toby Keith. They honored him before the game by having a chair out with a guitar, a red Solo cup, and an OU cap. What do you think of that tribute there, Rudy Campos Jr.?
To me, a tribute to tribute, man. If Oklahoma, you know, they're gonna tribute, you know, Toby Keith, and that's what they want to do. I mean, I can't really comment too much more on that. I'm not even a country fan. I don't listen to country. You know, if you told me so and so sang this song, and I honestly read Solo Cup, until someone told me it was a drinking game. I had no effing idea what the hell Red Solo Cup meant anyway. So, I mean, that's just on me. But the tribute for them that's on them. I don't care. I mean, are you going to do a tribute on your show? Because I heard that you're a huge fan.
Well, did you know that the ridges on the Solo Cup mean something?
No, see, I don't know jack shit about it.
Okay, so did you know this, Joe?
No.
Okay, so when you get a red Solo Cup, and it has to be a Solo Cup. It's not the HEB version, Hill Country Fair version. It is a Solo Cup. They're all measurements, all of these things. So the small little ridge on the bottom of the Solo Cup, and I have my arrow going up across right there. If you fill it to that line, that is a shot. If you fill it to the second line, that's a glass of wine. If you fill it to the third line, that is a 12-ounce beer. Each ridge has a reason behind it.
Someone needs to go to AA. That's
Joe, you didn't know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't pay attention to the ridges. I'm just busy just slamming them back.
Joe knows I just drink from the fucking bottle. I mean, I don't use no damn cup.
The only ridge Joe cares about is Ruffles.
Ruffles Ridge.
Okay, so I found this to be funny. A great story on TMZ.com right now about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy,
Jeez.
Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant, and I'm going to full screen this one.
Man. Wow, Mike. That's
The crazy questions that he's getting at Super Bowl Radio Row and at the events that were going on, the media events, all these entertainment reporters going out there asking questions. And they asked the question, do you realize you look like Lee Harvey Oswald? And I have a side-by-side comparison, and now I can't unsee it. He looks like Lee Harvey Oswald.
He really does. He really does. Oh my God.
Hey, Rudy's got something coming his way from our frequent viewer, fan of the show here.
Oh no.
Tim Gonzalez says, "Hey Rudy, Tar Heels still suck."
Unfortunately, they suck, but you know what? The Tar Heels did beat the Duke Blue Devils recently, so F off to all you Duke fans. We own you this year. That's all that matters.
Gio is an avid Duke fan.
Oh yeah, and that's the problem. I have Gio on Sweep the League, so I'm gonna get all the effing Duke talk all the damn day. So I'm about to mute his mic, every time he's talking shit.
I'm gonna be honest, man. When the Rams lost, I had a little smile on my face because I was thinking of Gio.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because I'm on Mike's show and Mike's a Saints fan. I'm a Falcon fan.
Oh my God. You're fired already, baby. You're fired already.
That's fine. I can collect unemployment. I was employed long enough.
Now, what's going to hurt my feelings, though, you as a Falcons fan, and I'm going to call this up right now. Let's see here. NFL mock draft. NFL draft coming up soon enough, right?
Yeah.
If the Falcons make the move and get Jaden Daniels.
Terrible.
Why?
Terrible.
Why would it be terrible?
So Jaden Daniels, and we do a lot of mock draft stuff on Sweep the League as well, but Jaden Daniels is all hype right now, man. I mean, he's a very, very injury-prone quarterback. He doesn't know when to actually make the throw before running. He is really quick on his feet to where, you know what, if it's my first or second reads aren't there, I'm taking off. We've seen him get massively hurt on some of these hits. And that's my fear going into the NFL where the game is 5-10 times faster and quicker. A quarterback like Jaden Daniels needs to be a pocket presence. He's not a pocket presence.
What games were you watching?
Hey, man, I know you're an LSU Tiger, and I know you're going to support Jaden Daniels until you're blue in the face or purple and yellow or whatever.
Did you know that his accuracy from passing the ball beyond 20 yards in the air, was more than 70%. 70% is great for a 10-yard pass, over a 70% accuracy on 20 yards and above. And we're saying that he's not a pocket passer. Come on, man.
You're talking about the NFL compared to college football, Mike. I mean, college football, the NFL. Jaden Daniels was hurt. You can't tell me when he got outside the pocket, he got hurt. He's very injury prone. He's early. He's early Michael Penix. Early Michael Penix when he used to get hurt at Indiana a lot. Michael Penix became, you know what? Hey, I'm more of in the pocket guy. You saw what it did for him. Jaden Daniels is early Michael Penix. He needs to he needs more. If he goes to a system, he needs to stay as a backup for a year or two.
Dude, they're all systems. Look at these stats, Joe. He's taking a shit on this. Look at these stats.
I'll gladly take a shit on it.
72.2% accuracy throwing. 72.2.
Okay.
He threw for 3,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Okay.
He's not a pocket passer. He also did a pretty decent job rushing as well, but he wasn't like, I never considered Jaden Daniels to be like a running quarterback. He was a quarterback who could run. Now, there were some days, I mean, don't get me wrong, he did have that one game where he had 300 yards passing and 200 yards rushing, but I saw him more as a passing presence. And it opened up the game. It's not like certain players out there who are like Cam Newton, for example, who their legs opened it up for their arms. I thought with Daniels that it was all about his arm first, and that opened up the running game for him as well. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a good NFL player, and
Yeah,
I'm also
the Saints can take him.
and I'm
He's only
also the one. I'm also the one who last year was screaming from the top of the mountain saying that the Houston Texans should go after C.J. Stroud.
Mhm.
And I was saying that repeatedly.
So
And
was I.
James Pledger, one of my best friends, James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star, big fan, was like, no, they have to go after Bryce Young. They have to go after Bryce Young. And I'm like, no, it's all about C.J. Stroud. Mock draft right now came out from NFL.com. It was released yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They have at number 1, Chicago Bears taking Caleb Williams.
Terrible.
Number 2, I think they should drop down. I think they should drop down to 2 or 3. Give the Commanders their number 1 choice there. They have Jaden Daniels going number 2 to the Commanders. New England taking by passing up on a quarterback and taking Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver from Ohio State. Atlanta Falcons at 5. A projected trade with the Chargers moving up to get Drake May. Would you be okay with that?
100%, yeah. Right now, Drake May is number 1 on my quarterback, followed by, you got Michael Penix, you've got Bo Nix is another one.
Yeah.
And honestly, Caleb Williams is probably number 5 or 6 on my quarterback list. So I'm not even high on him. So I'm perfectly happy with Drake May.
The NFL.com has my Saints taking a UCLA edge rusher at number 14, which I would be pissed off at because they have at 15 Brock Bowers, the Georgia tight end. If Brock Bowers is available, that's a top 5 talent right there. You take Brock Bowers.
Top 5, yes, top 5 talent, but
not top 5 going, top 5 talent.
No. Top 5 talent in the NFL draft, but for a guy like Brock Bowers, I think it's gonna be one of those Aaron Rodgers situations where he's gonna drop into the first round, and it's not because he's a bad player or anything like that. Nothing wrong with him. He didn't go smoke a pipe or anything before the draft and got busted. Nothing like that. It's just there are so many other needs when it comes to these teams drafting in the first 15, 16 areas where they're going to see that first.
You're saying it's a luxury pick at that point.
It kind of is. Sort of, yeah.
But a top 5 talent at number 14 to me is pretty good value. As far as the other teams that San Antonio typically cares about, number 23, the Houston Texans don't have their pick, but they have another team's pick instead. I believe they have Cleveland's. At 23, they have them going after Chop Robinson, Penn State edge. And at 24, NFL.com believes the Cowboys are going to go after an offensive lineman from the Washington Huskies.
Hey, man, I know that Rudy's he's gonna have to be leaving us soon. He's got to get back to work, man.
Oh, no problem at all. Hey, Chris Gonzalez comes out to us and says Jaden Daniels is the 4th round quarterback. So was Dak Prescott. The only difference is that Jaden Daniels will probably be better. Okay.
I'm not gonna argue that because Dak Prescott to me is, they're not gonna win a Super Bowl with him and Jerry. Period. Dak Prescott's now a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and Jaden Daniels, he's a 4th round guy. I actually have him in the 3rd right now. Jaden Daniels.
Very, very cool. That is, I like Jaden Daniels. It's beyond the LSU thing. I saw him play in person a few times. He's electric. And I saw him play, and I just was like, wow, that guy is faster than everybody. He has an arm that's stronger than most I've ever seen. Maybe it is the LSU bias that I have in me, but
Malik Neighbors will be better, a lot better in the NFL.
Well, Malik Neighbors is amazing.
Yeah.
That is Rudy Campos Jr. Again, don't forget to follow him on Twitter at Sweep the League. His new show gets going Monday at 2 p.m. That's correct?
2 to 3:30, Super Bowl Monday. So
we're on the Alamo City Network, right? You have to subscribe to our show, subscribe to our network, and you'll get Rudy. You'll get Brandon Medina's new show. We are expanding as a network. This is fun times.
So I'm gonna need you to come on the show because there's one tall tale that I've heard from you, and I need the explanation. Apparently, you were at the stoplight on Petrenko in 1604. It was raining, and a car pulled up next to you. Supposedly you winked at a girl. She came out, and it was Shania Twain, and she kissed you. That was the tall tale I heard. And you apparently what you said. Well, I don't have proof because my phone was dead at the time.
Well, this happened in the mid-90s, and it was during the talk show and rodeo. And Any Man of Mine had not come out yet, so it happened. That is Rudy Campos Jr. Thanks for being with us, my man.
Yeah, man. We will see y'all next week.
Later, man.
So that is Rudy. We are expanding right now. And by the way, I'm taking a look right now as we talk a little bit more entertainment before we wrap up the show. Joe, remember when Netflix used to be the thing? Remember when Netflix used to be the thing where we'd be like, the best movies, the best of everything is going on over there? And now to me, remember Blockbuster Video had those middle aisles where
Yeah.
it had Weekend at Bernie's and it had Mannequin and
The
all
classics, man. The
those were
classics.
it was like the B movies, you
Yeah.
know. That's kind of Netflix right now, and I find it interesting because I'm looking at the top 10 things going on Netflix right now. The top 10 things on Netflix. There's Griselda, right, which is a pretty big show going on right now. But you also have young Sheldon making an appearance. But I started watching a show that I am floored about, and it is called Royal Pains.
Oh gosh.
Have you stumbled upon Royal Pains?
I haven't stumbled upon it. I've heard about it.
This is a show that has been off the air for 8 years.
Yeah.
It came out from 2009 to 2016 on the USA Network. You know, so like 8 seasons. And I had never heard of this show in my entire life. And now I'm on season 2.
You're watching it. You love it.
I don't know if I love it. I like it a lot. I love it, I guess. But it's just so funny because last year, the big thing was Netflix introduced us to Suits, which was also on, I believe, on the USA Network, right? And many people fell in love with Schitt's Creek because of Netflix.
My wife still watches Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek's amazing.
It's funny, dude.
It's amazing. Schitt's Creek might be the best show I've seen in the last 10 years. But it's so weird how people get wrapped up on these TV shows just simply because it pops up on Netflix. And now I'm thinking to myself, imagine being the actor on that show, who, by the way, I don't even know his name. And I'm on season 2 now. Don't even know the guy's name. Now, one of the guys is from the movie Road Trip. I know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna call up. What do we call this again? What was this thing called again? It was called Royal Pains, right?
Royal Pains.
Royal Pain season 1 trailer. Because I don't want to ruin it for myself. But the show is basically about a hotshot doctor who loses his job. He gets fired, and he ends up becoming a concierge. What do they call it? A concierge doctor for the rich out in the Hamptons.
Mario Cavazos has a recommendation. He says you should be watching Jane the Virgin.
Dude, I heard that's a good show.
Yeah.
My sister tells me that's a very good show. But one of these guys is from Eurotrip. But I've really enjoyed this show. Do you know what the show reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of CSI Miami.
Oh, okay.
You know, where you can just watch any episode and go like, okay, I can follow along with where we're at. You know, it's like 1 hour, like little 42-minute long movies about it all. Matt Lambert is out and says Royal Pains was my favorite show when it was out. That's fantastic. I just discovered it 3 days ago because of Netflix, and I recommend it because season 1 was pretty good. That's the dude from Eurotrip as well.
Hey, Superstore. No lies detected here by Jonathan C. Superstore was a good show.
Superstore was a very good show, man, with America Ferrara and I loved that show. Superstore is one of my favorite shows of the past few years. But I came across, you know, in recent years, Mad Men, which was amazing. You know, Mad Men was over, and then I fell in love with it. Schitt's Creek was over, and then I fell in love. Well, actually, no, I fell in love with it before the last season. But my goodness, Netflix is introducing us to stuff that has been gone.
Well, I'm gonna introduce you into something too, man. As we all know, we like talking about some hotties, right?
Yeah.
Here. So I was looking at my Twitter line just in the morning, you know, looking through, scouring to see what we're gonna talk about, topics and whatnot. Bro, Mike, we watching the wrong weather channel, bro.
All I know is that weather looks steamy,
bro.
Mm-hmm. That's beyond Nugget, dude. I mean, that's not even Nugget. That is just ridiculous.
That's unreal, man. That's like, I don't even know what she's saying, dude, but I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah, are you on Twitter or are you on Instagram?
I'm on Twitter right now, bro.
Look up Felicia Combs.
I gotta look her up. Okay, let me go look her up. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this then.
Oh, you know what? I found her on Instagram. Felicia Combs.
You have her there. I'll bring your screen on. I think you're on mine. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Just click on continue.
I mean, Felicia Combs is a meteorologist, so she's an actual meteorologist.
Yeah.
She's not just somebody who's like some hot Mexican chick showing the news, but Felicia Combs. Good Lord, Nugget 3 seed, absolute 3 seed on this.
Jeez, man.
Let's take a look at some more of Felicia Combs. There she is. I believe the word is thick with 2 C's.
That's Beaver Rexa, bro.
It is. She a good looking girl when the weather's hot.
They're saying, guys, Jonathan died. I don't know what they're talking about there.
I don't know. But man, my goodness, man, this has been a fun show. I have to get going because I have an event going on today. I have to go learn more about product lines. Fascinating. I'm back at work. I'm back on the job.
Nice.
This was a great announcement today, by the way, that Rudy Campos Jr. I know this has been in the works for quite some time.
Yeah.
The website going to be coming out pretty soon. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So now it becomes easier to market, easier for people to have the ability to
See
sponsor our
content.
show, see the content, be more active. I think the next step is TikTok. I think the next step is going to be making sure that our stuff is on Spotify and whatnot. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify as well. That is another one as well.
The other thing that I'm having in the works after we do all this is I already have a platform set up, and I want to be able to offer a lot of things.
And by the way, if you're doing spoiler alerts on YouTube, cut that shit out, dude. That's not even fucking funny. I have no idea if that's what it is, but don't do that. Don't be that dick.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if it's the end of the Sixth Sense because it's been 30 fucking years, it's 30 fucking years, dude. Don't be giving spoiler alerts to TV shows and movies. Erase that shit.
Yeah. I don't know why they do that.
I mean, what's the point? I'm assuming that they're talking about the show that I'm watching.
Yeah.
But I don't even know the characters' names.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
But I was going to say, the one thing that I'm working on is I want to be able to have everybody access what we're doing. So there's going to be people that are going to be on the road as they're, they can't watch the show per se because they're on the road. We're going to have live streaming audio that's going to be available on our website.
Wow.
So live streaming audio, just like you do at a radio station while you're doing the show, it's live everywhere, right? So you can listen to it live. If you just want to listen to the audio portion of it, it's going to be played live as we're doing the show on the website. The other thing is it opens the avenue for us to go ahead and do shows that are just exclusive to our website, and it's just audio only.
Interesting.
So it's going to be a new take on things.
That's fascinating. And I know that you work your ass off when it comes to all this, most definitely. Rodeo Road Trip again tonight begins. Spurs taking on the Heat. It's going to be a early start because it's an East Coast game. 6:30. Spurs coming in at 10-40, taking on the Heat, who are 27-24. Heat are big favorites tonight. Right now, we're getting up on the lunch hour here in San Antonio. The NBA trade deadline is 2 p.m. tomorrow. So we're right around 24 to 26 hours away, man. So that is the thing. And are the Spurs going to make a move? Are any dominoes going to fall in the NBA tonight? Because it's beyond just the Spurs. It's all 30 teams in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
So we got to figure out what's going to be going on. There's going to be a lot. And it happens at the last minute. It does. It all happens at the last minute. Spurs again tonight, 6:30. If it is on, what's that channel? Bally Sports app? They're dead to me.
The Bally Sports app.
They're dead to me. Jonathan C says Heat money line is free money. No faith in the Spurs tonight. That is so sad. But my name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Again, Rudy Campos Jr. Don't forget to follow him on Twitter at Sweep the League. Follow me at MJ Acquire Chase. Follow Joe at Jeff at Two Shots Podcast. And again, don't forget to subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Everyone have a great hump day. My name is Mike Jimenez. See you guys tomorrow.